Hey guys, how you going? My name's Daniel and I'm the face behind Unique MX5 and I'm about to undertake a case swap. So I've got all the parts here laid out on the floor. So let's get to it and I'll show you what they are. So here we have most of the components needed to do a case swap into a right-hand drive MX5. I'm hoping to do more videos about the build that have more detail about the components. If you've got any questions, let me know and I'll try my best to answer them as the build continues. Down here we've got our clutch and our flywheel with our flywheel bolts, clutch slave cylinder, 12 volt AC compressor for our hot Australian summers because the car is still going to be a daily, so I want it to be comfortable inside the cabin. Water bottle relocation kit, air fuel ratio gauge, fuel pump. We've got our adapter plate for our engine and gearbox, and K-Power have actually done a really good thing here. They've actually separated the bag into two parts. We've got our engine bolts on this side and our transmission bolts on this side, so it makes it really easy to differentiate which bolt goes where when you're actually bolting it all up to the car and the gearbox and engine. Freshen up stuff for the motor, which you'll see when I do the motor. Windage tray, guide and chain. This is all part of this kit that K-Power do. There's the instructions for it there. All this goes at the bottom of the engine and it all mates up and works well with our honed sump. And you can see Honda have made the sump up. They've got the K-Power pickup in it. I'm pretty sure it's a K-Power pickup. You've got this bridge here to allow room for our steering rack to go underneath because the steering rack will go along this way. Type R oil pump. We've got a Track Tough coolant outlet. Here's our V8 Roadster's subframe. We've got our Honda bracketry. And Honda have also designed their kit with the brackets here to work with Honda S2000 mount. So if they ever break, which they will eventually, as they just wear out, it'll be easier to replace them, which is really good. Comes with all the necessary bolts and other fittings you need to put it into the car. Got our fuel rail here, fuel pressure regulator from Radium. Got some instructions here. Our K-Power intake manifold. Along here, we've got our different gaskets all the way up to our throttle body. This is an adapter plate that I need to have this to fit up to our intake, and then for our throttle body to mate up to this. Now, depending how you do it, you might do drive-by-wire, which is what I've chosen to do, or you could do by our cable, which is a little bit easier, I'd say. So when you do our cable, you'd need to have the sensors here, whereas for a drive-by-wire, all the sensors are in that throttle body, but a bit more to set up when it comes to ECU tuning and stuff like that. But it also gives you more options as well. Here's our bracket from our firewall through to our throttle pedal made by Peter at Berg Spec, and he gives you a template to mount it to your firewall. And because the ECU I've chosen doesn't have drive-by-wire function, Link have got this kit. They've made a remote e-throttle module, which means this can still talk to our ECU via this. And our last component that I haven't spoken about yet is our steering rack. This is a manual steering rack from an NA6, a 1.6 litre MX5. The power steering rack is actually too big and won't actually fit in that spot there. So yeah, there are all the components. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions and I'll try and answer them as the build goes on.